a visionary through some of Northern Ireland's darkest days. John Hume was an enduring advocate of peace.
With rubber bullets and gas, the crowd was marching over there, the leaders were going to speak to you. Before we even got there, you opened fire.
Driven by a belief that negotiation and democracy was the alternative to bullets and bombs, he took on the army, the police, and the IRA paramilitaries who tried to bring about a united Ireland by force.
There is not a single injustice in Northern Ireland today that justifies the taking of a single human life. If I were to lead a civil rights campaign in Northern Ireland today, the major target of that campaign would be the IRA.
And as a protest against...
A career in politics had not been his earliest calling. He trained as a priest and then a teacher. But galvanised by the injustice of discrimination against Catholic communities in the 1960s, he became a leading campaigner for housing and employment rights. As a Catholic who refused to support the IRA, after the Troubles broke out, John Hume founded the Social Democratic and Labour Party. His objective was to achieve a united Ireland, but only through consent.
And the SDLP have failed to do that.
Sorry, well, that's a very fundamental point.
At great personal risk, in the 1980s he entered into secret talks with Gerry Adams, the leader of Sinn Féin, the political voice of the IRA. It provoked anger and criticism, but he refused to change course.
I don't give two balls of roasted snow, Jim, what advice anybody gives me about those talks, because I will continue with them until they reach what I hope will be a positive conclusion.
His stubborn efforts helped bring about the IRA ceasefire and brought Sinn Féin into the talks that led to the Good Friday Agreement in 1998, ending the conflict.
Today we can take a collective breath and begin to blow away, let's hope, the cobwebs of the past.
He and I had many disagreements, and that's a very, very healthy thing to do and to have. But when we were able to talk and to actively promote the primacy of politics, of dialogue, of inclusivity, and so on, which then led to the Hume-Adams talks, I have to say on this sad day that we wouldn't have the peace that we enjoy today if it wasn't for John Hume.
The peace deal was a turning point for Northern Ireland and saw John Hume hailed as a hero by pop stars and presidents.
Mr. President and Mrs. Clinton, as you can see from the people of Derry, you're very, very welcome here today.
Today, former US President Bill Clinton said John Hume always kept marching on against all odds towards a brighter future for Northern Ireland. After he was awarded the Nobel Prize, he gradually stepped down from his public roles, but was always greeted with admiration and affection in his hometown of Derry. Later, his health deteriorated as he began to suffer from dementia.
John Hume genuinely was a political titan. I mean, his contribution to peace in Northern Ireland was extraordinary. I don't think we would ever have really got the peace process going and implemented if he hadn't been there offering help and advice.
John Hume's commitment to ending violence helped make Northern Ireland a better place for future generations. He was the architect of the peace process, and his death a reminder of how far Northern Ireland has come.